Everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Queen Paco. For those of you viewing my channel for the first time, I hope my last episode on uniqueness was very helpful and thus had a positive impact in your lives. The topic I'll be talking about today was actually intended for the Valentine's season, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, it actually got delayed, but I guess it's better late than never, yeah? I'll be talking about love and forgiveness, and this is very vital because it cuts across our everyday life. Well, love is a very tricky one because a lot of people confuse it for lust and infatuation, but generally it can be defined as a strong feeling of affection. Forgiveness can also be defined as the ability to give up resentment and claim to requital. Love and forgiveness go hand in hand. There's no love without forgiveness, and there's no forgiveness without love. I'm not trying to sound religious and all, don't get me wrong, but we can't talk about love and forgiveness without paying reference to God, because God paid the ultimate price for the universe out of love. There are two quotes I love very much, and these quotes will be really instrumental to today's discussion. The first one is, you can't reach out for something new if your hand is still full of yesterday's junk. And the second one is, to forgive is to set a prisoner free and to realize that prisoner was you. It's deep, right? Pay close attention to these quotes by opening your mind's eye. I'm going to start today's discussion by talking about love first, although they are intertwined. Well, like you guys already know, I love to post quotes at the beginning of my video, and I'm sure you guys must have seen the quote from earlier to help give you insight on what I'll be talking about. It's just a habit. I don't know. I'm just used to it. It's just something I love doing, just so you guys won't be lost in what I'll be talking about. Love. What is love then? This is a very dicey one because a lot of people have different meanings for what love is. Love has always been around us. It's part of our everyday life. It has been in existence even before we came into existence. It will still exist even before when we cease to exist. Basically, love is everything. It makes the world go round, like many people say. No matter how bad you think your situation is, there's someone definitely out there going through worse. A clear example is of a man who complained he had no shoes until he met someone who had no legs. Funny, right? The truth is, God expects us to show love to the poor, the less privileged, and the needy. We all claim to love God we haven't seen, yet we find it difficult to show love to people who are around us. How is that possible? The season of love provides us ample opportunity to achieve this. Valentine is a very good time to actually show love to people you care about and to people you're really close to. But how about people out there who don't have anyone to do all this for them or even a roof over their head? The season of love is also about showing love to people around you, and this includes your neighbors. Neighbor in this context doesn't really mean like your next door neighbor or something else. Your neighbor in this context can mean like people in need and people you are privileged to have more than. Because a lot of people out there are stranded. They don't have shelter over their head. They don't have food to eat. Help someone in need and put a smile on their face, no matter how small it is the thought that really counts. Just do your size. Your size will definitely not be my size. Obviously, because in the UK, if I can be able to afford a pound or 10 pounds, and you can afford probably 50p, that's okay. It's the thought that counts at the end of the day. That doesn't matter. And if you're in Nigeria and you can probably afford 500 naira or probably 1,000 naira, that's absolutely okay. It's not just about people you're close to or your loved ones. Just try to reach out to people out there you have no relationship with, and just be there for someone. Just make them feel like they matter. That's love. Sometimes the little things that actually count. You don't have to go all the way or do something really big to actually amaze someone or make them feel really important. It's the little things that actually matter at the end of the day, like I said. Sometimes we all wonder to ourselves why true love is hard to find, but the shocker is true love does exist, but we often look for it in the wrong place. There's just one place we can find that love that passes all understanding, which is in God. I'm sure most of you right now will probably be like, Queen Esther preaching again, she started again, but that's okay. But that won't change the fact that it's only in God that we can find that journey in love, steadfast love and unconditional love. And we should all learn to be imitators of God's kind of love. Also, as we're talking about love, I'm sure a lot of questions will be going through your mind, how can I love this person? Maybe because they're a known murderer in the society, or probably a rapist, or probably they've done something really wrong, or probably a question must I love everyone? Can I really love everyone? Or probably how can I love this evil person? Maybe because they've done something to really hurt you and you're you probably can't get past it or something. We all have people we don't like for many different reasons. Maybe because they've hurt us in some way. No matter how bad someone has hurt you, you have to forgive them. Trust me, I know it's not easy because it's a process. You have to let yourself heal and get there. But you have to forgive them, because I know when someone hurts you, all you think about is how to get even with them. But what satisfaction do you really get by getting even with someone when they've actually hurt you? You only makes things worse by causing them to strike back, thus making it a repeating circle. Because when you strike back, they strike back, and it actually becomes a game. You guys keep hurting each other, which is not worth it, and it can become very draining, trust me. Love is about respecting the inherent humanity in all people and looking for that spark of light, truth, and goodness residing in everyone's heart and soul. I'm sure most of you right now will probably be like, everyone has good in them. But I beg to differ, because I feel like everyone has an atom of good in them. They don't just let you see it. Maybe because of a bad experience they've been through, or probably they feel like if they let themselves out, they'll probably be vulnerable again or something. So it's good to take every opportunity you have to tell people in your life you appreciate them and you care about them. Love chooses to see the good in people, not the bad. Alright, now I'll be talking about forgiveness. You can't talk about love without talking about forgiveness, because like I said earlier, they go hand in hand. And forgiveness in simplest terms can be defined as choosing to love someone in spite of their shortcoming. As humans, we all have to learn to adopt the art of forgiveness if we ever want to be free or happy in life. It's something extremely special which we're given, and it's something precious which we replicate to others. Forgiveness is not easy. It requires the practice of maturity and the patience to allow the process to unfold and the tact to endure it. We can best practice forgiveness by realizing how much we've been forgiven by God. Then we can then be imitators of that kind of forgiveness when others willfully or unknowingly cause us setbacks or harm. The magnitude of forgiveness from God for what we've done can never compare to what others can do to us. When we put forgiveness into practice, we're free from bondage of bitterness and pain that imprisons us. Forgiveness is very rare in our society. It's actually very hard to find, and a virtue that a lot of people lack. Out of completeness of forgiveness comes the forgetting, and out of the forgetting comes the healing. Out of the completeness of forgiveness comes the forgetting, and out of the forgetting comes the healing. And the healing we get from forgiveness close the wounds that we receive from it. It thus prevents the sufferings and setbacks from becoming our obsession and our identity. Without forgiveness, we're entangled within the periphery of bitterness. Sometimes we say we've forgiven someone, yet we say we can't forget what they've done. How is that really possible? There's no such thing like partial forgiveness. It's either you forgive them or you've not forgiven them, because you can't be partially pregnant. It's either you're pregnant or you're not. That's it, basically. Forgiveness is a process. It cannot come straight away. It actually takes time. Like everything in life, it takes time. Forgiveness is one of the hardest things to accomplish in human experience. It's hard because it demands you to surrender your right to get even, when you can easily walk the other way and execute revenge. Love keeps no records of wrongs. This means that we're not to go around carrying a list of wrongs and faults that have gone wrong in our relationships. Rather, we're supposed to think about the good things that have happened. Think about the positives, not the negatives, basically. How can you claim to love someone, yet you've been unable to forgive them? That's impossible. Like I said earlier, you have to learn to see the good in people and sometimes focus on the positives, not the negatives. Love is not perfect. Love errs like every other thing, but you have to choose to focus on the bright side, not the negative side. The person that's committed an offense against you is probably somewhere having the time of their life, while you're just there stressing yourself and worrying about something that doesn't even matter. You're just suffering while the person is enjoying. Is it really worth it? I don't think anyone is worth your stress. So why don't you just relax and let them go, not for their sake but for your sake. Why hurt yourself when you can let it go? Basically, there are three main reasons why I think it's important to forgive. The first one is, in life, we get what we give and we reap what we sow. We're humans and we all make mistakes, and sometimes we hurt people through our words, our actions or inactions. The more we forgive people, they reciprocate when reverse is the case. Meaning that the more we forgive them, the more they forgive us when we hurt them. Secondly, forgiveness leads to healing. Forgiveness leads to healing because holding on to resentment and not forgiving can stand in the way of your physical wellness. A lot of people deal with pain and hurt in different ways. I once had this friend who used to plan strategies on how to get back at people who have actually hurt her at night. And she used to wake up with headache, in the morning, and it was really affecting her physical wellness. It wasn't good for her. So sometimes she used to miss lectures because of the headache, and it was really, really weighing her down, physically. So forgiveness actually leads to healing. Forgiveness makes you stay away from all the negative energy that comes with revenge and everything that has to do with it. Thirdly, forgiveness is mainly for your benefit, not for the benefit of the other person you're forgiving. Because the anger and the resentment towards that person, it's like a burden that forgiveness allows you to drop and become a free person. Most people confuse forgiveness with reconciliation. They're not the same. Just because I forgive you doesn't mean I'm reconciling with you. That's totally up to you. We have to make separate decisions, whether to reconcile with the person we're forgiven and to bring them back into our lives, or to keep them at length. Anger, love, and forgiveness touches everyone at some point in life. It's easy to get angry, but if you're lucky, it's easy to love. But it's not always easy to forgive, but something we have to do. We all need to love and to be loved. It's been that way since we were born. But love is not perfect. Sometimes we get hurt and we're afraid of that hurt coming again. One of the ways we protect ourselves is with anger, because anger is a stronger emotion than fear. It's no surprise that you get angry when you're hurt. It's a natural instinctive reaction to pain. You don't just want it to last too long, so you don't hurt the people that you love. Ironically, when you're angry, you're putting yourself in the position of a victim, perhaps even feeling a sense of helplessness, which actually fuels your anger. This is called the blame game, when you're so busy pointing your finger at someone else, when you fail to see your own responsibility and freedom in that situation. Do you know how easy it is to say, I already forgive him? These are the right words, but most people say them when they're not even ready to say them. And saying you forgive someone when you're not ready, you're dishonoring your true feelings, and this can build up resentment. Forgiveness takes time, like everything. This type of forgiveness is dishonest because it doesn't come from the heart. Total love and forgiveness doesn't come until you've walked through your anger and you're emotionally and physically ready to let go. Here are some points to consider for who is responsible for what. The person who hurt you is responsible for what they did, but they're not responsible for how you feel. You're responsible for how you feel and what you do with those feelings. So if you break down, if you get depressed, or if you explode in anger, that's on you, not the other person. Lastly, when we choose not to forgive, we're stuck in our past. Once an individual is stuck within the periphery of bitterness, it makes it difficult for them to move forward and experience joy. It makes it difficult for them to move forward and experience something new. They're literally stuck in one position. Forgiveness helps us grow and it helps us become mature. Once you've forgiven anyone who has harmed you, you realize that you start thinking more productive thoughts. You become happier and you don't think of things that will actually bring down your spirit. Forgiveness is a free gift. It's free to give and free to receive. At this point, I'd like to believe that today's topic has been a very positive one, and even if you haven't learned anything, I would urge you to take this quote with you. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is an attribute of the strong. I hope that we can all replicate this in the season of love and beyond. Thank you all for listening, and it's been an honor talking to you all. Have a wonderful week. Please don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye, and see you guys in my next episode. Bye.